I asked Pete today. Pete Giuliano no longer works for me. Everyone knew my assistant Peter. We caught him on tape saying the N-word, and so we had to get rid of him. And it was about any, so we understood what he was doing, but like, right.
So Bert Kreischer, the guy friends with the Legion of Skanks, on an episode of his podcast titled Fun with Foreign Slurs, where they spend half the time jokingly saying racial epithets.
I like that it said ting tong.
Fired his assistant for making a joke where he said the N-word. I would understand if he was running an actual business in a real industry where he has to maintain a professional work environment and there can be real ramifications for keeping someone like that on the team. But he's a stand-up comedian in the anti-cancel culture, free speech Rogan sphere, and the guy sitting across from him says the word himself in his specials.
And he goes, saying midget is like saying nigger.
To take away a guy's job who's been working with you for years for saying a word that multiple of your friends use publicly, even to this day, is straight up immoral. Not to mention, he knows this guy isn't actually racist or a bad guy because he's still hanging out with him after deciding he had to let him go.
I was in the sauna today and I was with Pete because it's his last day. And I was like, I was so dizzy.
Which proves that he's not even doing this of his own volition. He's just conforming to social pressures imposed on him by his out-of-touch LA circle. I can even kind of understand having a policy where members of your production staff aren't allowed to make the same style of jokes that you are, wanting them to maintain a higher level of professionalism while at work. But to fire the guy for his first offense after years of quality assistance, not because you think his use of the N-word reflects poorly on his character, but simply to appease a crowd of people that don't even consume your content to begin with, just reinforces the worst aspects of cancel culture that they've been railing against for years now. Bert's also having the public pressure really start to weigh on him.
Is life worth living if you're looked at in shame for the rest of those years you get to live?
Yeah,
shame is worse. Shame is worse than shame's as bad as death, I guess.
And it's causing him to be extremely insecure about his behavior while out in public.
I watch my behavior in public a lot because I don't want to. I don't want negative tapes about me. So like I think I'm a good person, but I can't really tell because I'm already in front of it. You know.
So you're always careful.
Oh yeah, and I've had some slip ups, obviously.
He also finally accepted that the fans are right about him and Tom being out of touch after he tried and failed to go to the DMV.
Not who I see on a daily basis. I am the healthiest person in this room. I've showered the most in this room.
Yeah.
I've brushed my teeth the most in this room.
Yeah.
The DMV is fucking scary, Tom.
He wasn't even able to make it through a couple of hours around the average peasant before he left the DMV and paid someone to take care of it for him.
Because, I always try to like make sure that I'm grounded in life, I was like, nice. I got a DMV appointment. I'm going in the DMV. I'm just fucking, hey, if Tom Cruise goes to the DMV, I go to the DMV. And the second I got there, I was like, how did I pay to get out of this?
You bailed?
I bailed.
And then now you're going to do the celebrity way?
And Bert apparently has some big project releasing this summer, which probably won't be a comedy special, considering he just put one out in March of this year. So are we getting another feature film starring Bert Kreischer? I find it unlikely, since his last movie lost $10 million, which Bert frames as just made a little bit of its money back.
I think if The Machine had performed a little bit better in box offices, yeah. Luckily for her, it just did enough to make some money back and,
So what do you think this big project's going to be? Maybe a TV show this time like Tom Segura just released on Netflix? Let me know your best guess down in the comments. Tom Segura also has a big project this summer. He's starring in his own movie this time, called El Tigre. Entering production in New Mexico this summer, El Tigre follows Jeff, Tom Segura, and his friends as they head down to Mexico, only to discover the hard way that Jeff is a dead ringer, or doppelganger, for the infamous cartel leader El Tigre who's gone missing. After being captured by rivals and then rescued by El Tigre's forces, Jeff has to pretend to be their ruthless leader until he can find his friends and a way home. From the moment I read this script, I knew I had to play this part, Segura said. As a fellow business owner, I've always found it inspiring how productive and efficient cartel leaders can be. This whole team is so excited to make a great comedy, and I'm so thrilled to be a part of it. This movie sounds like it's going to be terrible. At least Bert's movie had experienced writers and directors. The people producing Tom's movie barely have any credits, and the ones they do have are things I've never even heard of. The director specializes in horror comedy films, so the movie's probably going to feel identical to Tom's Netflix show, which is a shitty blend of Black Mirror-style horror and 2000s shock comedy, and one of the producers for the project pretty much confirms it. We're excited to support Tom's first feature film because audiences are hungry for the R-rated comedies of the 90s and 2000s that aren't getting made by the studios anymore. I have a 30-minute long breakdown of every sketch in the entire show, which I haven't been able to get past copyright protection on YouTube, and might start a Patreon just to release this video if you guys are interested. Bert stressing over the idea of being shamed by the masses leads him to mention a black comic who apparently took his own life to avoid backlash from the Me Too movement.
People unalive themselves to not deal with immense shame all the time. So that's a real thing.
Oh, there was that comic that I guess had some essays, but
Yeah, we got it.
Allegedly he unalived himself because
Shame.
he didn't want to deal with like the
Yeah.
Me Too movement.
I mean,
That's allegedly. I don't know the whole story, but that's what I heard.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
I believe he's referring to Jack Knight, a comedian I'd never heard of, who died in 2022, and none of the articles or even Reddit threads mention anything about any rumored allegations. So this is some real insider information we're getting. He could be referring to someone else, but I can't find any reporting on another black comic who took his own life, so this is the only assumption I can make. Can any of you guys confirm this in the comments? Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, please subscribe, hit the bell. More content coming soon.
Speaking of interracial marriage, I was a friend of mine married a black chick recently, and I thought to myself, like, I kind of always like I've been attracted to black chicks, but like, it dawned on me like as I left with my wife, I went, all day, every day. You're gonna spend every day with a black person? Like, that just seems like a lot.
It's a lot.
There's a lot of time to spend with a black person.
This is the one where Bert gets fired from his podcast.
I just know. I'm just saying,
You're going to have to write an apology letter to the Birdcast. Oh, man, Legion of Skanks. Legion of Skanks. If you get all three of the members of Legion of Skanks to go, I don't think I would say that out loud. You have do banana mayonnaise sandwiches or Bert's truth serum? He tells the truth for 1 hour after he eats a banana mayonnaise sandwich.
all day, every day.
With a black person. You know, speaking of interracial marriage.
I'm just saying, you guys don't even know what I'm talking about. It's like, it just seems like a lot of time.
It's a lot of time
with a black person.
I agree with you.